Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news. Climate changes are making the reading of recent economic signals harder because the whole context is changing. Globally, weather events are going to be driving economic events as extremes become more common. That makes thinking about the past as an indicator of the future less a valuable benchmark. New situations that require adaptation can create opportunities as well as unknowable risks. And the big one is the democratic risks. The pressures for livable conditions then creates political risks. Yes, it is likely that New Zealand will be in a relatively favourable position, but it won't make it better than the past, just less worse. We have suffered unbearable wet conditions in many parts of the country recently, but now we could be in for a sharp and uncomfortable dry period over the rest of 2023. Adaptation is going to require fast planning and preparation. In northern China, the rolling heat wave is extending and will be around till at least Tuesday with temperatures near or above 40 degrees. The south of the country is getting heavy rains. Both are raising risks for harvests. And China released its official PMIs for June on Friday, and they make concerning reading. Factory activity stayed in a mild contraction, but is now 3 months in a row it has contracted. Services are expanding, but at their slowest pace in 6 months. And the Chinese yuan is now at its weakest since the end of 2022, and if it breaches that, it will be its weakest since 2007. The People's Bank of China seems likely to intervene soon. And we should also note that while American personal incomes keep growing at an inflation equaling pace and better than expected, consumer spending did dip in May, and by less than expected. Meanwhile, Heartland Manufacturing in the Midwest Chicago region is suffering, with their PMI retreating faster than expected, and it isn't a positive signal there. However, the final June University of Michigan survey of consumer sentiment is rising and by more than expected, capping 4 straight months of gains. In Australia, as we signalled recently, the latest Commonwealth Government accounts are revealing surging surpluses. They reported a monster $24 billion surplus in May alone. Their financial year ends in June. Now they expect the full year surplus to be far bigger than the $4.2 billion forecast in the budget just 7 weeks ago. But it may not last. China's leading steelmakers warned on Friday that their industry faces a challenging second half as demand disappoints, profitability lags, and pressures to cut costs mount in the world's top producers. The US Treasury 10-year yield will start today at 3.84% and unchanged from Saturday. And the price of gold will start today at $1,920 an ounce and also unchanged from Saturday and unchanged from a week ago. And oil prices are unchanged too, still at just over $70.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is a tad softer at $75 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 61.4 US cents and unchanged from Saturday. Against the Aussie was still at 92.2 Australian cents. Against the euro was similarly unchanged at 56.3 euro cents. That means our trade weight index is still at 69.8 and exactly where we were a week ago. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.